Hello, everyone. Welcome into another Full Time with me, Max Bretos. Did I miss anything? Figured it's a perfect time to revisit our little discussions here. That's why I held off a little bit. I kind of had a feeling. But who could have possibly have known? I did not. I kind of did a little bit with Barcelona. That's been my thing over the last few years, and I continue to be vindicated from the Barcelona fans out there on Twitter and Instagram who have ripped me a new one, and we'll get to that. You know I'm right. But this is an important day to discuss things because we have just wrapped up the two most remarkable days in the history of club football. There will be days individual like this, but to have them back to back, I've never seen it, and I have covered this sport longer than I care to mention. I know I'm much older than I look. Makes you think. Soak it all in now because we probably won't get anything like this again. You know, these things even out. You don't see things like this, and we saw them. What made these 2 days so remarkable? Well, there are many things. The particulars. Let's look at the players. Who could have predicted Lucas Moura, of all people, scoring a hat trick for Tottenham Hotspur, one at the death to put them through? This was a guy, for all intents and purposes, jettisoned by Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah, he's a good player, but not good enough to play for us. So he goes to Spurs, makes a nice living, and now has become worthy of a statue being built out of the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's Gigi Wijnaldum. What about this character? Didn't start the game for Liverpool. Comes off the bench to score 2 within a couple minutes. He enters Liverpool legend and lore, which is very difficult, I might add you. Divock Origi. No Mo Salah, no Robert Firmino, no problem. He comes in, he scores 2, including a goal that made Barcelona foolish, a goal that you'll see over and over again on what not to do on set pieces. In fact, Liverpool is a game that if you're a coach, you want to show everyone because it was about an unprecedented amount of effort. And I'll get to that shortly, but I still want to talk about what made these two games over 24 hours so special. What about the circumstances? Barcelona were cruising. The only way they get knocked out is they allowed 4 goals without scoring. That'll never happen. Are you mad? It happened. Ajax completely dominating. Tottenham Hotspur would need 3 goals in 45 minutes away. No way. The way Spurs have been playing, losing games at home left and right, they had been, twirling around the toilet bowl. But you still knew they had enough quality. And they did. So here we are. Excuse me. And the big winner here, obviously Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur, but the big winner is the English game, and I've been talking about that a fair bit here on Full Time. So for those who have been tuning in, you're the smart ones. Share this with your friends and tell them to subscribe, Max Bretos, immediately, because when I speak the gospel of football. This is Tabernacle, if you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. So it's the English game, the big winner. First All-England final since 2008 when Leicester City won a few years ago. This seemed far-fetched. The English game committed to high-profile managers, giving them the money. Sometimes, in this case, the managers, even Jose Mourinho, who didn't work out, the managers were bigger than the players they had. And now you see why. It's these styles that make a huge difference. And now you have 2 English teams in a Champions League final. And one's going to walk out. And maybe the best English team's been gone since the quarterfinals, who's also coached by a remarkable manager. It really is one of the big reasons. Klopp, I think, is the superstar of it all. Salah, Firmino, everyone thought it was over. But you see what Liverpool is. It's about a manager getting his players to believe. That's what he did. And they have a system that works regardless of the pieces you put in there. Would they rather have Salah and Firmino in the final? You betcha. But maybe that's an interesting conversation to have. Do you keep the same players that won this historic game at Anfield? One of the most magical scenes you'd ever see. And then you see another magical scene. Mauricio Pochettino, no Harry Kane, no Son Heung-min for the first leg. And this is how you could tell a good coach. This is coaching basics. 45 minutes, you're getting run off the field. Manager has a few discussions with his team, makes some adjustments, and lo and behold, the game has changed. And Tottenham Hotspur really could have scored 4 or 5 in that second half. They deserved it. This was no freak. Ajax put their head down after these adjustments and didn't have an answer. It was a different game. Speaking of Ajax, I just want to say, these Generation Z kids, come on. The narrative was set. The return of Dutch football, the clockwork football, Agent Orange, all these great Dutch players, and they still are great. How much money was Delight going to have to be paid for? $1 billion. And it all changed. Changed very quickly. This Ajax team deserves so much credit, but it's got to be frustrating to see how it broke down in the end, because they were engraving the trophy, folks. It's like, we're winning, we're beating Spurs, we're going, oh, who do we have to fear? We knocked out Real Madrid. We knocked out Juventus, the champs, Ronaldo. It all changed. What a beautiful sport. I love this sport with so much passion. Champions League is my favorite competition, and it's been reaffirmed. It's not going away. All right, let's go to the first semifinal. A story of wanting it more. Liverpool wanted it more. Barcelona, a quick look at them. It is a fourth straight burnout by a Barcelona team. Since they won the Champions League, they have burned out the last 4 times. To Atletico, a bad result. Then Juventus, they lost 3-0. And then the horrible result against Roma. And now this. So this is no fluke. This is systematic. Since they won the tournament with, in their prime, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. They've had some bad signings. Philippe Coutinho, Ousmane Dembele. But are these bad signings, or just they don't fit with a Messi Barcelona? That has a unique circumstance, especially from the attacking end. They hit pay dirt with Suarez, although I think Suarez at Liverpool is a better player. There's things you have to adjust. So they didn't work out, and Dembele's being killed for not taking his chance. Hard to fit into that team. Now, there are 2 schools of thought as to why Barcelona got knocked out. The Messi camp, blame Messi or blame Barcelona. And obviously the blame is somewhere in between. But some of these camps don't want to blame Messi at all. And some of them want to overdo it. I'm kind of 60-40 blame Messi. And here's what I'm going to say about it. I don't want to give him too much grief, but I am telling you he absolutely deserves his share of the blame, of the meltdown, because he was there on the field each 4 of those times. He had his great moment in the first leg with one of the greatest goals from a free kick, certainly you'd ever see. And people once again stamped him, said he is the greatest player of all time. Don't even argue with me. Don't even talk to me about it. It is signed, sealed, and delivered. Okay. Should the greatest player of all time ever be on the receiving end of one of these results? I'm sure it's happened. I think of Maradona in an Argentine qualifier against Colombia, but this is not this. Everyone qualified in the end there. Should he be involved in these things? Yes. Did other team players have meltdowns? You're the leader. You're the captain. You are the guy who needs to provide that one moment. And then people point out, well, look, he was involved in the 3 or 4 chances. Well, that's not enough. One of those chances has to go in because you needed one goal. And you would counterattack to be able to do it. And at the very least, as a leader, lift the team up. There were so many bad results. And of course, Messi. I just want to say it is a team issue. And if you want to separate the two, then you have a big problem. And Barcelona will not be a factor in Europe. And I've said that the last 2 years. All right, it's been a thrill with you. I wanted to mention really quickly, Liga MX playoffs begin. And 8 teams make it. 3rd through 8th are separated by 2 points. So it's going to be a crazy competition. Hats off to Tijuana, coached by former FC Dallas coach of the United States, Oscar Pareja. He snuck them in after Tijuana won. The Cholos won the last 2 games, scoring 8 goals over those 2 to get in. Should be fun. Can America win back-to-back tournaments? Cruz Azul, is this the year they finally lift the trophy? It's exciting. Another great Liga MX tournament. Whew. I'm going to miss talking to you about all this stuff. I'll have to fill in the gaps with some boring international summer tournaments. I'm just kidding. It's going to be great. I'll be here on full time. Make sure you subscribe for the Women's World Cup, for the Gold Cup, for the Copa America. Subscribe to my page, YouTube, Max Bretos. Do it. I'm going to be giving some stuff away soon, okay? Because I love you guys.